Most people believe they decide how and when to spend their money. But if you look closely, you'll notice something unsettling. Your spending habits aren't random, and they're not fully yours. They're shaped, guided, and nudged by a system that understands your impulses better than you do. A system built not to improve your life, but to keep you consuming. What looks like a harmless purchase often hides a deeper mechanism. Your emotions, your fears, your need for comfort, your desire for status. Someone is studying all of it. Someone is turning these psychological patterns into profit. The truth is simple. You don't just buy things. You buy feelings. You buy relief. You buy identity. And by the time you realize it, the system already knows what you'll buy next. By the end of this video, you'll understand why resisting the urge to spend feels like swimming against a current that never stops pulling. It's not a lack of discipline. It's design. Think about the last time you opened a shopping app just for a minute. Maybe it was late at night. Maybe you were bored. Maybe your day wasn't great and scrolling gave you a tiny sense of escape. You weren't planning to spend money. But within minutes, the cart was full, the order was placed, and the confirmation email hit your inbox before you even processed what you'd done. That moment isn't an accident. It's a predictable pattern. Spending gives your brain a dopamine hit, a surge of pleasure, a momentary lift. It's the same chemical that fires when you eat sugar, win a game, or receive a compliment. But the dopamine peak from buying something is unique. It mixes reward with anticipation. It promises a better future, a new version of yourself arriving in a box tomorrow. Retail therapy isn't a joke. It's a psychological reality. People buy when they're stressed, lonely, bored, or anxious. And companies know this. That's why shopping apps are engineered to feel soothing. Bright colors, smooth animations, the little ding when something is added to your cart. Frictionless checkout flows designed to keep your brain in reward mode. It's not just that you want to buy, you're being guided to buy. And that emotional push, while powerful, is only the first layer of the trap. Because once your emotions soften your guard, the system removes the pain. Ask yourself something simple. If every purchase required you to count out cash, would you still buy the same things? Probably not. Cash creates friction. You see the money leave your hand. You feel the loss physically. Your brain registers the cost. Credit doesn't do that. When you swipe a card, tap a phone, or click Buy Now, Pay Later, something important disappears, the moment of financial pain. There's no immediate consequence, no visible loss, just a promise to deal with it later. Credit is financial anesthesia. It numbs your awareness of what you're giving up. That's why everything feels affordable in the moment and impossibly heavy when the bill arrives. Your brain experienced the reward, but not the sacrifice, so the imbalance catches up only after the dopamine fades. It's not a personal failure. It's a neurological hack. And the institutions that promote credit understand exactly how the cycle works. They know that if spending feels painless, you will spend more. They know that delayed consequences encourage impulsivity. They know that your brain, not your bank balance, is their real target. But once they've numbed the pain of spending, the system introduces another pressure, social comparison. There's a reason you feel uneasy when your phone is older than everyone else's, or when your car feels outdated next to your friend's new one. It isn't vanity, it's survival instinct, twisted for profit. Humans are wired for status, not luxury, status, the desire to fit in, to avoid falling behind, to signal competence, success, or stability. Companies weaponize this instinct. Every ad you see, every influencer you follow, every brand identity you absorb sends the same psychological message. Everyone else is moving forward. Are you? This pressure explains why people upgrade phones that still work perfectly, why someone finances a car they can't truly afford, why a wardrobe gets refreshed every season even when last year's clothes are still fine. It's not about the product. It's about avoiding the feeling of being less than. Modern marketing doesn't sell objects. It sells identity. It sells belonging. It sells the illusion that the right purchase will fix a quiet insecurity inside you. Behind the scenes, companies run enormous psychological campaigns designed to amplify these insecurities. They create aspiration. They set the bar higher every year, and they make sure you always feel just a few steps behind. But status is only one weapon. The next one is even more powerful because it hits the core of human behavior: fear. Fear-based spending is everywhere, but it's so normal we rarely see it. Fear of inconvenience makes you buy extended warranties you'll never use. Fear of missing out makes you buy things on sale you didn't need. Fear of scarcity makes you overstock during crises. Fear of falling behind makes you upgrade constantly. Fear of discomfort pushes you to choose convenience over financial sense. You're not just buying products, you're buying protection from imagined futures. When a company shows you a product that keeps your family safe, or ensures you never run out, or guarantees peace of mind, it's not selling an item. It's selling relief. And relief is priceless when fear is triggered. The system knows this, which is why fear marketing is everywhere. Not dramatic fear, but subtle anxiety, the kind that whispers, not screams. The kind that feels rational. Add this fear layer on top of emotional spending and numbed payment systems, and you have a consumer who buys without feeling like they're buying. Every purchase feels justified, necessary, sensible. But fear is only the trigger. Habit is the glue that keeps the cycle running. At some point, your purchases stop feeling like decisions and start feeling like routines. Spending becomes autopilot. That morning coffee run, it started as a treat. Now it's a reflex. That subscription you forgot you had, it silently renews every month. That fast food order when you're too tired to cook, automatic. That Friday night online shopping spree, tradition. Your brain forms shortcuts to save energy. Once you repeat a behavior enough times, it becomes the default. Companies know this too, which is why so many services are subscription-based, not because they're convenient, but because they become invisible. Habit is one of the most profitable psychological mechanisms in the entire financial world. It guarantees predictable recurring revenue even when the customer stops paying attention. And the system isn't content with letting habits form naturally. It actively shapes them. Apps send reminders at the exact time you usually buy. Stores rearrange layouts to match your established walking patterns. Streaming services autoplay content so you stay engaged. Delivery apps highlight your favorites to limit friction. The goal is simple. Make your spending patterns so automatic that you no longer question them. But everything so far, emotions, pain removal, status, fear, habits, still isn't the full picture. There's a final layer that ties the trap together: your data. Right now, corporations know more about your spending triggers than you do. Every click, every scroll, every pause on a video, every item you compare, every late-night browsing session. It's all recorded. It's all analyzed. And it's all fed into algorithms designed to predict when you're vulnerable. If you're most likely to buy something at 11 p.m., an ad will hit you at 10:58. If you hesitate on a product, you'll get a tailored discount within hours. If you're stressed, if you're tired, if you're lonely, your online behavior reveals it. Algorithms don't just observe your desires. They anticipate them. They know what you'll want before you consciously feel the desire. That's why targeted ads feel strangely accurate. That's why products appear right after you think about them. That's why you feel like the digital world reads your mind. It's not magic. It's mathematics. Behavioral economics meets surveillance capitalism. And once your profile is built, your patterns, your vulnerabilities, your impulses, you're not just a customer. You're a predictable revenue source, a psychological blueprint, a digital organism with a shopping pattern that can be steered. But not everyone plays this game. There's a group that exists outside the trap entirely. The wealthy don't fight their spending impulses. They bypass them. They remove emotion from their financial decisions by automating everything that matters. Savings, investments, transfers, bill payments. Wealth building happens on autopilot, not shopping. They use rules, not moods. They use systems, not impulses. They structure their lives so that spending becomes a controlled output, not a psychological reaction. Instead of buying to soothe emotions, they invest to build power. Instead of chasing status symbols, they accumulate assets that generate income. Instead of reacting to fear, they prepare with strategy. Instead of forming spending habits, they form wealth habits. The financial world treats them differently too. They're not bombarded with predatory ads or psychological traps. They're offered tools, advantages, and opportunities that bypass the emotional battlefield entirely. The spending trap was never built for them. It was built for everyone else. And once you see the mechanics, the real purpose of the system becomes impossible to ignore. Your spending habits aren't random accidents or signs of personal weakness. They're the result of psychological levers pulling on your emotions, your fears, your routines, and your identity. A complex ecosystem designed to turn human behavior into profit. Dopamine makes you want things. Credit numbs the pain. Status creates pressure. Fear creates urgency. Habit creates consistency. Data creates precision. All of it works together to keep you buying in ways that feel natural, even inevitable. Understanding this system doesn't magically stop the temptations, but it does something far more powerful. It destroys the illusion that spending is purely a personal flaw. It reveals the manipulation behind the scenes. It gives you the ability to pause, question, and choose differently. Once you see the trap, you can stop walking into it blindly. You can reclaim agency in a world built to guide your impulses, and you can start spending with intention rather than emotion. Because the moment you stop being controlled by your spending habits is the moment you stop being controlled by the system that created them.